The Wellness Revolution starts now.
Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Hotze, and welcome to today's program. I'm pleased to introduce to you a new guest of ours here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center over about the last 4 or 5 months, Matt Schomburg. And Matt lives here in the Houston area, and he's in the insurance business. So, Matt, tell us a little about yourself. Where do you come from? Where do you hail from? And how did you get involved with insurance? And then how did you get involved here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center?
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you having me. It's an honor to be here and to visit with you. I've known your reputation for 20 plus years. So I grew up in the Sugar Land area, opened up a State Farm agency here in 2002. So in Katy, actually on Fry Road, so directly across the street from you. So
what is the name of the agency?
So just Matt Schomburg, State Farm. My mom's a State Farm agent. She's one of 5. 4 of her siblings were in the insurance field. A couple of those State Farm.
It's in the family, in the genes.
It gets better. So my grandfather was a State Farm agent. So I'm a 3rd generation State Farm agent. So there's a bunch of us. So Katy's been terrific. Our business has continued to grow alongside the school district and the population of our area. I guess it was probably sometime in 2020, I started working with Coach Michael Burt. We know he's a business coach. He's helped your team.
Right.
He came
Great
in.
Guy.
Fantastic guy. So he came in last year and did a full session, full deal for us. And I had torn out your ad in the magazine over Christmas break. And then Coach Burt started working with us and praised you for allowing him to have a 2nd and 3rd kid. I believe now, just changed his life. Funny story, my wife is an old patient. We found her book from 2013.
Really?
So we've, like I said, we've known your reputation, known about you. And I said, you know what, it's time for me to go. I'm dragging. I want to get in. And
how old are you now?
So I'm 45.
Okay. And you felt like you were dragging. So what does that mean? Tell me what that means.
So I get up early. I'm an early riser, up at 6 a.m. I've got 4 boys that keep us running. So logistically, we're all over the place, just every day. I get to work. I do what I do, and then about 2 o'clock every day, I was cashed. I mean, if anything, I'd want to lay on the couch and take a nap. I just had no energy, no stamina, and pretty much from 2 o'clock till bedtime, I was just zombied out.
And you're only 45.
Only 45.
Okay, so what made you decide you wanted to come in? Was that it? Was it what?
Yeah, I think that was it. And I had been working with a cardiologist, and so I was trying to stay off of statins.
Right.
My dad's been on statins for 30 years. He's got real bad rheumatoid arthritis. I just think something with all the prescription pills he's taken have definitely affected his ability to move at his age today. I didn't want to go down that path, so I said, you know what? I want to try something holistic. So I'm who's the best in the industry? I'm going to go and see Dr. Hotze, and so that's what brought me here in late October.
So you came in, and who did you meet with? Dr. Ellsworth.
Dr. Ellsworth was my main doc, and went through the initial procedure and whatnot, and so he got me on vitamins and.
Well, let me just ask you this: coming in. As you're probably well aware, coming in, we have a different model of the way we handle our guests. We call our patients guests, by the way. So had you been in here with your wife originally?
I had not. So that was all her, and mainly for allergies back then.
So this was your first time into the building and come into the center and all that. So tell me about that experience. What was it? What did you expect when you walked in? What did you think it was going to be like? And what was it like?
Yeah. So I probably knew a little bit more than a first time guest. So I knew it was going to be extremely impressive. I knew it was going to be first class. I knew the red carpet would be rolled out, and from being met at the door by concierge or whoever it was that walked me upstairs, the hand holding, the meal, the drink. Just the entire experience, right? The not being rushed by Dr. Ellsworth, just being able to sit there and visit and kind of share who I was and what I had going on in my life. Just First class, red carpet. I don't know another word that.
Well,
could sum it up.
that's what we want to roll out. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I shared this with you. Back in 1996, we read a book called The E-Myth, The Entrepreneurial Myth by Michael Gerber. I don't know if you've read that
Absolutely.
or not.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, you know how great that book is.
Yes,
But
sir.
the entrepreneurial myth is that somebody goes into business for themselves. They think they're an entrepreneur when really, in fact, they're the technician, they're the bookkeeper, they're the sales manager, they're in charge of sales, they're in charge of hiring and recruiting. They're basically an employee of themselves. An entrepreneur really works on their business and not in their business. And he talked about the importance of creating an environment that creates an experience for your customers, your clients,
Yeah.
or your guests if you're in the hotel business. And so we made a decision back then in 1996 that we were going to get out of medical practice and go into the hospitality industry and benchmark with the Ritz-Carlton and benchmark with the Broadmoor. And we were no longer going to call our patients. We're going to call them guests. And we were going to roll out the red carpet. We changed all the interiors. We put in hardwood floors. We piped in music. We have a concierge at the front desk. We provide an experience because I told our staff, and I tell them this all the time, the way that we treat our guests is as important, if not more important, than the treatment we prescribe, because everybody wants to feel important. They want to feel affirmed. They want to feel cared for. They want to feel understood.
Absolutely.
And it takes time to do that. And that's the kind of environment that we've created with our team here at the Health and Wellness Center, both not only in the Health and Wellness Center, but in our vitamin store, Physicians Preference Vitamins, and Physicians Preference International Pharmacy. So I want to make sure everybody comes in, feels that experience, that like, this is not like being at a doctor's office.
Right.
Is that the way you felt?
Yeah. And it gets better. So I did the 90-day yeast cleanse.
Right.
And so they told me about it. And I remember my wife doing it the first time a decade earlier. And I said, this is stupid. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And it was funny because about 2 weeks in, and my nurse, Jennifer,
Right.
is that right? Phenomenal.
Jill.
Jill. Sorry, Jill.
Jill is great, isn't she?
Yeah. I've been working with Jennifer for this. So Jill would check on me almost every day. Matt, how are you doing? And I remember my wife and I had snuck away to Florida. And I was having major sugar withdrawals. I was struggling. I said, Jill, something's wrong with my body. I didn't feel right? I felt I was craving. I was missing something. But without her holding my hand through that whole process, I wouldn't have made it, right? We developed a special relationship, and I'm sure that's not abnormal. I'm sure that's more the norm.
Let me tell you what,
Yeah.
Jill is wonderful. I've known her since she was 4, and she's 48 now. I mean, since she was 11, and she's 48 now, and she's a wonderful nurse. She's a quality assurance nurse. So we always put Jill on our new guests to make sure you get onboarded and get on the program.
Yeah.
And it takes, a couple of months to get yourself up and rolling. Then you get in the habit, you got it down.
Yeah.
And she doesn't need to hold your hand as much.
Right.
She's off holding somebody else's hand.
Right.
Now, have you had a chance to meet with her personally?
I have.
Good.
I have.
Well, she's a bundle of energy, and she's a tremendous asset to our team and to our guests. And and I'm glad to hear that from you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected any less of Jill. So anyway, so when you saw Dr. Ellsworth, he recommended the healthy eating plan, do a yeast-free eating program,
Yeah.
cleanse yourself out. He also started you on some thyroid hormone to boost your metabolism
Yeah.
and some testosterone. I looked at your age. I started testosterone about the same age you did. I was 46. You're 45. And your testosterone was down. For a guy between 40 and 50, it was on the very low end.
Yeah, for sure.
And testosterone, as you come to realize, most people think, oh, it's about your sex life and all that. Well, it does have an effect on that, but primarily testosterone affects your initiative, your self-confidence, your mood, your goal orientation, your drive, your directedness, your decisiveness, your analytical ability. All these are brain functions.
Yeah.
And testosterone gives a man male pattern behavior where he wants to go out and get something done.
Right.
Go out and, the caveman had to go out and kill the meat and kill food. He had to go out and get active and be a producer. Well, as we age, male hormone levels inevitably gradually decline. So your testosterone level was about a third of what it was when you were in your 20s.
Yeah.
And that affected your drive and initiative. Now, let me ask you, you were telling me before you came in, by 2:00 in the afternoon, you felt beat down and you just couldn't go. So how are you doing now?
I don't ever get tired.
So you could tell a big difference.
Oh, yeah. So I don't ever get tired. And I'm taking magnesium too, so I don't know if that's helping me sleep. But I lay my head down at 10 o'clock. I go to sleep at 10:01. At about 5, I'm ready to wake up. I'm excited to wake up. I can't look, I'm like, let's go. My alarm hadn't gone off. I'm like, what is happening? And then I have energy all day long. It has been such a gift.
Well, and this is what we believe is that as an individual ages, and we're all going to age as long as we're alive, we're going to have this aging process, maturing process. We want to make sure that we have a healthy lifespan and not just an existing lifespan. So as you get older, we want you to have energy, vitality, and enthusiasm for life. Now, you're 45, I'm 72, going on 73, and I'm going and blowing.
Yeah.
But I've been on my program since I was 39, serious on it. I was in good shape then, and I'm staying on it. Don't have any plans to ever retire. I'm going to do like my daddy. He said, I'm going to retire. Never, because there's nothing in the Bible that says retire. I'm going to work until I die, and I'm going to die right here on the job. And he did.
Love it.
He died right there on it the night before he died. I called him up, and I said, how you feeling? He said, son, I hadn't felt this good since I was 18 years old. He died at 80 probably had a heart attack. But anyway, and I didn't know what I know now, or he might still be alive.
Yeah.
That was years back in 95. So anyway, so your energy level's up on a scale of 0 to 10. How would you rate your energy level? 10 being brimming with energy, 0, no energy.
Yeah, I would say 9, most days 10.
That's great.
Yeah.
So has your wife noticed the difference?
She has.
That's great.
She has. Now, so I mentioned I came late October to see you. We were planning to come at the same time. Something happened. She came back in January.
Great.
And so now with both of us on this thing, it's like our marriage is better.
That's great.
She's come such a long way, just with her mood, really.
Sure.
I mean, she's incredible.
Of course, when women get into the 40s, hormone levels begin to decline and become imbalanced, and that affects the hormones affect your brain function, my friends. And the long and the short of it, you just don't feel as well when your hormone levels go down, energy levels go down. You get mood swings, depressed, you get panic attacks, anxiety. Women get that problem, and, they get the premenstrual symptoms and all those sort of things, which can be easily corrected with proper hormone replacement with natural bioidentical hormones. And that's what we did with you. It happens with men too. Men, we go through andropause. Hormone levels decline, testosterone declines. Now, I'm going to predict and I told you, and I think I told you when you came in, don't blame me if within 2 years you've doubled your income. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Well, and I say that because you're in business for yourself.
I am.
And all of a sudden, you've got years of experience. You've been in the business how long now?
So over 20 years.
20 years. So you got a lot of experience. You know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But your energy and your drive and your goal setting and everything was beginning to flounder because your energy levels down.
Right.
Pick that thing up. Guess what? Don't blame me if you've doubled your income in 2 years. And make sure you get somebody good to help you invest that money. I've seen it happen over and over. Testosterone is powerful, men. So you have all this experience, but you don't have the energy. Now you've got the experience with the energy.
Right.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Your most productive years are ahead of you, sir.
Yeah.
You're going to do extremely well.
Absolutely. It's exciting.
Well, I appreciate you sharing with us this great story and your success. I'm proud of you for taking charge of your health. And that's one thing that I want to point out. One thing that Matt Schoenberg did is he made a decision he was going to take charge of his health. And he wasn't just going to say, well, this is just getting older and I'm going to feel that way. He decided he was going to get on a path of health and wellness naturally. And he contacted us and made a decision to come in and invest his hard-earned money to do that. Mm-hmm. And because we don't do insurance. If you want to see an insurance doctor, there are plenty of them around. You get what you pay for. With an insurance doctor, the insurance company governs what you take when you go to an insurance doctor. I want to work for our guests and make sure they get what they need without having an insurance company looking over my shoulder and trying to second guess what I'm doing.
Yep.
So if you want to get on a path of health and wellness nationally and you want to take charge of your health, don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, and we'll be glad to partner with you and get you feeling healthy, full of energy, and full of enthusiasm again. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you, Matt, for coming in. That's Matt Schomburg Insurance here in Katy, Texas.
Yes, sir.
So if you need some insurance, you give Matt a call. Thanks so much again for joining us.
At Physicians Preference Pharmacy, we understand that the quality of your compounded medications directly affects the way you feel, which is why we believe that your pharmacy should specialize in compounding medications while also delivering extraordinary hospitality and guest service. We believe that both patients and prescribers should accept nothing less than consistency and quality from their compounding pharmacy. This is why we've implemented some of the strictest quality standards in compounding, exceeding standard requirements, achieving PCAB accreditation, which is the Pharmacy Compounding Accreditation Board, an organization that sets the highest standards in compounding pharmacy regarding the safety, cleanliness, and quality of your compounded prescriptions. Because of our commitment to complete health and wellness, we are dedicated to making your medications free of lactose, parabens, artificial sweeteners, and any unnecessary dyes, binders, or fillers present in many other medications, offering you the cleanest products possible.
Information provided on this program is neither intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice and is not intended to replace the services of a physician, nor does it constitute a doctor-patient relationship. You should not use information from this radio program to diagnose or treat a health problem or disease without consulting with a qualified healthcare provider. If you have or suspect you have an urgent medical problem, promptly contact a professional healthcare provider or call 911. Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution advises you to always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified health provider prior to starting any new treatment or with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Any application of the recommendations from this program is at the listener's discretion.